Okay, for this assignment, what we're going to do as a refresher is go ahead and click on one of these images and find the link. We're going to start off with this image right here of this rustic cabin. I'm simply going to copy this image. I'm going to bring it to Adobe Photoshop. I've created a new document that's 1080 pixels by 1080 pixels at 72 DPI, or a resolution of 72. I'm going to go to Edit and paste. I'm going to paste in that image. If you get any sort of message like that, just go ahead and hit OK. And I'm going to use my Move tool up here to position this on the screen. And if I press Option and use my scroll wheel, I can zoom in. What I want to do is take the polygonal lasso tool. I want to make a selection around the outside of this cabin. I'm going to ignore some of those details. You'll see in a moment that it doesn't particularly matter. I'm just going to sort of click and let go and let my mouse move across the roof line and select just the perimeter of this cabin. So once I get down to the grassy area here, I want to grab some of the grass, some of the extra grass, like so. And once you get to this area, I'm going to follow the little brick wall and close it off. I have my selection. So now that I have my selection made, I'm going to press Command 0 to fit my workspace to the screen. I'm going to add a mask by clicking this rectangle and circle button right here, and it's going to get rid of everything that wasn't selected. It has masked it out. You can see this icon right here is going to show in black what's not visible, in white what is visible. So you see a little, you can see right here, if I press Option and click on it, I can show you what the mask looks like. Now what I'm going to do is grab my brush tool right here. I'm going to use a relatively large brush. You'll see about 120, 150 pixels, and the hardness is going to be set down to 0%. I'm going to draw some of this back in using the color white. So remember, white is what we want to be able to see. Black is what we don't want to be able to see. So as I continue to draw this in right here, it's going to allow me to transition into another layer, as I will demonstrate next. So I'm going to switch back to Google Chrome, go to the textbook, and I'm going to take this next picture right here, open it up in Pixabay. Remember, Pixabay is a library of resources that we can use for any purpose. I'm going to copy that image. I'll bring it back into Photoshop by going to Edit, Paste, like so. I'll hit OK. And I'm going to change my stack order so that it is below the image that I just set a mask to. And now, if I click this layer and use my Move tool, I can position it up here. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so that it looks like it's off in the distance. So I will press Command T, and I will resize this. I don't have to hold Shift in order to adjust it because Photoshop will maintain the aspect ratio for me. So I'm just going to sort of position this up at the top of the hill like so. And now I'm going to adjust the mask one more time. So with my brush, with the color black, I'm going to not exactly erase, but mask out some of this area to have it blend in. You can see that it'll sort of tell you where to erase, and right about here looks pretty good. So now I'd like you to spend a little bit more time making some more adjustments by adding additional images to build a composite. You could stop the video right here and get to work, or if you want to see how I might approach this, I would perhaps come in here, and I'm going to do sort of a quick job right here that I would adjust a little bit later, but get this pine tree and then follow the ridge right here, zoom in. I'll do this pretty quick, sort of get this guy selected like so. There are better ways that you can go about doing this, but this is just a quick way that I can do for demonstration purposes. I will finish that off like so, and I'm going to, now notice if I add a mask right here, it's not going to do what I want, so I'm going to invert this selection and then add a mask on this layer. Now I can come in and add one final picture like the one that you see right here. I'll open that up. I will copy it from Pixabay, and I'm going to add this as my bottom layer right here. Paste that in. Command V is my keyboard shortcut. Use my Move tool to position it wherever I want it. And then I could spend some other time making some other changes. Up at the top, I'll press Command Option Shift E to duplicate everything as a single layer, and then I could go ahead and start playing around with things like the camera raw filter in order to try to color balance this thing all together. So have some fun, try to build a composite, make this look as good as you possibly can. Remember, we're going to do a similar activity towards the end of the school year to see how we have improved over time. Best of luck.